Disney's 102 Dalmatians. Cruella de Vil, the infamous dog napper, was being released from prison. Thanks to Dr. Pavlov's behavior control program, she now loved animals. "Call me Ella," Cruella told the judge as she left. Cruella sounds so cruel. Cruella's valet, Alonso, was so happy to see her back that he gave her a gift, a little hairless dog named Fluffy. Back at her London mansion, Cruella let out a shriek. "Fur! It's everywhere!" she shouted. She ordered Alonso to toss her furs into a secret room and nail it shut. "Oh, Fluffy! Now Mummy can start a new life," the reformed Cruella sighed, cuddling her new pet. Meanwhile, across town, 3 brand new puppies were tenderly welcomed into the world. "You must be so proud," Chloe said to her Dalmatians, Dipstick and Dottie. Suddenly, Dipstick barked at a newspaper on the floor. "Cruella freed," the headline read. It was a dog's, and a dog lover's, worst nightmare. Chloe sighed. As Cruella's probation officer, it was her job to watch Cruella now that she was out of jail. Eager to show off her new love for animals, Cruella purchased the Second Chance Dog Shelter. The shelter's director, who had saved many misfit animals, including Drooler, Chomp, and Wattlesworth, thought he was a dog. They were happy to have Cruella's help in sprucing up the rundown place. But Chloe was suspicious. "People like Cruella don't change," she warned Kevin. When the puppies were old enough, Chloe brought the whole family to work on the very day that Cruella came in to meet with her. Oddball, the smallest puppy, was unhappy because she was the only one without spots. So she jumped onto a broken copy machine upstairs and rolled in the ink. It worked. Oddball was covered in spots. The copier repairman didn't notice her, though. Suddenly, he opened the lid and sent her soaring out the window. Luckily, Chloe managed to save Oddball, flinging her back in through the window and right into Cruella's hands. As Cruella stroked the puppy's fur, a strange thing happened. She suddenly realized that she'd like to wear this puppy's fur as a coat. Her hair started popping up in points. Her eyes glazed over. She raced from the room, cackling wildly, "Cruella's back!" Charging into her home, Cruella shouted, "I need my furs now." She threw open the doors to her secret fur room and snuggled with them. Then, grabbing her design for a Dalmatian fur coat, she raced to meet her old friend Lupelt, a French fashion designer who was visiting London. "We will make a coat," Cruella announced wickedly. "Something with spots?" Cruella and Lupelt sent Alonso out to steal Dalmatian puppies. One night, as Alonso squeezed out of a window with a bag of puppies, Kevin and Chloe walked by. They didn't see Alonso because they were too busy looking at each other. The 2 dog lovers were falling in love. Meanwhile, Cruella plotted a way to make it look as if Kevin were stealing the puppies. Soon, Kevin was carted off to jail. Luckily, Kevin's macaw, Wattlesworth, managed to grab the guard's keys and set Kevin free. Cruella had a plan to convince Chloe that she really loved animals. She threw a special party for dog lovers and their pets and invited Chloe and Dipstick. Unfortunately, the party soon went to the dogs. The pets jumped up on the dining room table. Fur and food flew everywhere. While she was at the mansion, Chloe discovered Cruella's secret fur room and the design for the puppy coat. She was shocked. But before she could do anything, the evil Cruella locked Chloe in the fur room. Across town, Lupelt broke into Chloe's apartment. He and Cruella had stolen 99 puppies, but they needed 3 more for the hood of the coat, and Chloe's puppies would be perfect. Dottie and the puppies put up a fight, but it was no use. Lupelt overpowered them. With some help from Cruella's dog, Fluffy, Chloe escaped from Cruella's fur room. She raced home just as Kevin arrived at her apartment. They were too late. Chloe's dogs were missing, and her apartment was a mess. Just then, with an excited woof, Kevin's dog Drooler uncovered a train ticket. Paris, the Orient Express at 10, Chloe read. They had no time to lose. Cruella was headed to Paris with the puppies. Outside the train station, Cruella inspected the puppies Lupelt had just collected. "That's not a puppy, it's a white rat," Cruella shrieked, dropping the spotless Oddball. Oddball dashed into the station and made it to Cruella's train just as it began to move. Oddball knew this was her chance to save her family. She had to get on that train. Just then, Kevin and Chloe arrived and spotted Oddball running for the moving train. "She'll be killed," Chloe shouted. Suddenly, Wattlesworth flew into the air for the first time in his life. "Dogs can fly," he squawked as he swooped Oddball up and soared into the open baggage car. "We can still catch them," Chloe cried as she raced for the next train. When they reached Paris, Cruella and Lupelt ordered Alonso to lock the puppies, along with Dipstick and Dottie, in a dark, damp cellar beneath Lupelt's workshop. And when Kevin and Chloe arrived, Cruella locked them up, too. All seemed hopeless, until Wattlesworth and Oddball appeared. Wattlesworth chewed a hole in the workshop floor directly above the cellar, and Kevin and Chloe lifted the puppies through. Creeping quietly, Oddball led the puppies away. But Cruella spotted them. "It's the little rat," she screeched. Just then, Alonso let Kevin and Chloe out of the cellar. He had had it with Cruella and her wicked friend Lupelt. He wanted to help the dogs. Ranting and raving, Cruella chased the puppies up the stairs, across the attic, through a small window, and out onto a narrow bridge leading to a bakery next door. As the puppies scattered, Cruella tried to grab them, but her foot hit an on button. With a whoosh, the bakery came to life. Conveyor belts moved. The oven turned on. Suddenly, Cruella fell into a mixing bowl, and hundreds of eggs splattered her. Milk and flour covered her. In seconds, Cruella was a dripping, gooey lump of dough. Then, thunk, she was dumped into a cake pan. Minutes later, the oven timer rang, and an enormous cake rolled from the oven, with Cruella sticking out. The puppies squirted the Cruella cake with frosting as it slid past. It landed on a cart, rolled across the bakery, and crashed into the window. The Paris police carted Cruella away, cake crumbs and all. Kevin and Chloe hugged each other as 102 Dalmatian puppies barked joyfully. A few days later, Alonso visited the puppies at the Second Chance dog shelter. He was glad they had one. Just then, Chloe glanced at Oddball. "Oddball's got her spots," she exclaimed. Oddball beamed as the others gathered around her. The brave little puppy had earned her spots indeed. The end.